want to tell you about how I beat my husband away from my daughter. At the age of 20, Ayla decided to drop out of university and take a job as a cashier. I didn't challenge her decision. It was her life, and she should be able to learn from her experiences. Parents often think they are acting in their children's best interests, but it is only later in life that children realize the lessons life has to teach them. I didn't require her to stick to a predetermined path if it wasn't to her liking. She would find her own way in due course. It wasn't that I wasn't concerned or involved in Ayla's life. No, I just let her make her own decisions. One day, my daughter came to me and told me she was getting married. I was at a loss for words. "Daughter, you're only 20 years old. You have your whole life ahead of you. What kind of wedding? And to whom? Are you pregnant?" Ayla calmly explained that life doesn't end here, and she has met a man who is right for her, and she doesn't want to lose him. Well, what could I do? I got married at 17, had Ayla, and then got divorced. I dated other men, but it didn't work out. I didn't want Ayla to suffer the same fate, but I didn't want to ruin our relationship. If I started lecturing her, conflict would be inevitable, so I had to reconcile myself to her choice. Well, marry him if that's what it takes. But who is this man? I asked. Mom, he's nice. His name is Colum. He's 40 years old, and he's the manager of the store where I work. Can you believe it? He came to check on me, saw me, and asked me out that same day. He said I was the highlight of his store and that he would like me to decorate his house too, Isla said with a smile. Daughter, my God, he's older than me. Why did you choose him when there are so many young boys around you? I exclaimed. Colum was the same age as her father. How could my princess choose someone so much older? But Isla didn't care about that. He is very considerate, kind, and most importantly, well off. I'll be safe with him, Mother. It's like being behind a stone wall, she explained. Ayla had made her decision, and no amount of reasoning could change it. At least she let me know. A month later, they got married. There were few guests, and Callum took care of all the expenses. He took it all with grace. As it turned out, Callum didn't look his age at all. Tall, trim, with stunning silver hair, and incredibly charismatic. When he spoke, everyone listened. Now I understood Isla's decision. But their marriage didn't go as smoothly as they had hoped. It started when Ayla quit her job, hired a housekeeper, and started spending her days shopping. She told me she wasn't used to cleaning such a huge house, and she couldn't cook. Callum called me several times for advice. He couldn't understand why Ayla had changed. That's not the woman I married, he once said. He wanted children too, but Isla was adamantly opposed. Are you out of your mind? You want me to trade my youth for diapers? No way. One evening after work, I visited my daughter. She wasn't home, only Callum was there. He said Ayla had gone out clubbing with her friends and invited me in for tea. I had no reason to rush home, so I agreed. We were sitting in the kitchen, chatting when Ayla came back. Oh, Mom. Hi. What brings you here? Why didn't you tell me? She asked, clearly tired. I was out with my friends, and now I'm going to bed. She left, and Colum walked me to the door. I caught myself enjoying being around him, and it startled me. This is my daughter's husband, I reminded myself. That's no way to do business. A week later, Callum and Isla invited me to a housewarming party. They'd bought a house in the country and wanted to celebrate. Of course, I said yes. Fresh air, nature, and a chance to spend time with their daughter. When I arrived, I found that Isla wasn't there. Where's Isla? I asked. She didn't want to live here. Says it's too far from civilization, Callum replied. I decided to stay and enjoy the countryside. In the evening, as I was getting ready for bed, I saw Callum in just a towel heading into the bedroom from the shower. I decided to say goodnight to him and followed him. In the bedroom, he was standing there without a towel and drying his hair. He looked like he'd stepped off the cover of a magazine, the water droplets sticking to him. I quickly went back to my room, trying to put the image out of my mind. But later, as I looked at myself in the mirror, a short woman with a great figure, with something to offer men, a sudden realization came to me. Callum would be mine tonight. I put on the nice lingerie I'd brought with me just in case, and a robe. I did some light makeup and looked at myself again. There was a mysterious, alluring woman looking back at me in the mirror. I hesitated at the door to Callum's bedroom, but brushing aside my doubts, I stepped inside. He was lying on his side, dozing lightly. I lay down next to him quietly. It wasn't too late to back away, but Callum stirred and turned to me, his eyes widening in surprise. "Fiona, what are you doing here?" he asked. "Callum, I can see that things are not going well with Isla. She is still young and wants to enjoy life. Family life isn't for her yet. You need a woman like me, someone who knows life, someone who can give you love and understanding." Callum's breathing quickened, and he swallowed nervously, but he didn't fight back. He was completely mine. This gorgeous man was mine, and I was his. I didn't want the morning to come, but it did. Callum wasn't there when I woke up, but he soon brought me breakfast in bed and told me he was divorcing Isla and wanted me to be his wife. I agreed. When I spoke to Isla, she surprisingly took it calmly. A month later, I married my former son-in-law.